Hey everybody! This is Death by D4, and welcome to my guide on how to play as the Wildfire Druid subclass in Dungeons & Dragons 5th edition. There's a lot to go over, so be sure to subscribe and let's dive right on in. When you take the subclass at 2nd level, you gain access to your circle spells, which expands the number of spells available to you as a druid. Best of all, these spells don't count towards your spell's preparation limit, meaning that you'll always have access to them whenever you need them. Of the selection made available to you, I'm going to give a special shout out to, well, all of them, as they're all pretty fantastic spells for you to gain access to as a druid. You also gain Summon Wildfire Spirit at 2nd level, which allows you to use your action to expand a use of your Wild Shape feature to summon forth a Wildfire Spirit. Your Wildfire Spirit then appears in a fiery explosion within 30 feet of you, forcing all creatures within 10 feet of it to succeed on a dexterity saving throw, taking 2d6 fire damage on a failed save. Otherwise, your Wildfire Spirit generally acts and behaves just like any other summoned creature, disappearing after 1 hour if its hit points are reduced to 0, or you use this feature again. Alright, so, though this isn't necessarily the most powerful summon out there, the outer utility provided by it is actually pretty remarkable for a 2nd level feature. After all, not only does your Wildfire Spirit have a flying speed of 30 feet, but it has a decent ranged attack, immunities to fire damage and a number of other notable status conditions, and even a goddamn teleport that it can use indefinitely to move itself and other willy creatures within 5 feet of it up to 15 feet away, dealing fire damage to all other creatures left behind in its wake. Wow, now that's pretty incredible. That said, do keep in mind that the range of its teleport is pretty short, not to mention the fact that its range attack doesn't scale very well as you get into your higher levels. However, even in spite of this is still a pretty remarkable feature for you to get, and one that I'd highly recommend making regular use out of once you get there. At 6th level, you get Enhanced Bond, which grants you the ability to add 1d8 to any one roll made with a spell that deals fire damage or restores hit points while your Wildfire Spirit is summoned. Also, while you have your Wildfire Spirit summoned, you can choose to originate any spell that you cast from its position instead of yours, so long as it doesn't have a range of self. Honestly, this is a pretty nice feature for you to get in general. After all, not only is the added d8 a nice bonus to all your fire and healing spells, but the added range provided by your Wildfire Spirit is actually staggering, allowing you to just stand way off at a safe distance while raining spells down upon your enemies. All in all, this is just another awesome feature for you to get, and one that has a lot of potential for you moving forward. At 10th level, you get Cauterizing Flames, which causes spectral flames to appear over any creature of size small or larger that dies within 30 feet of you or your Wildfire Spirit for up to 1 minute. The next time a creature then enters the space of one of your spectral flames, you can use your reaction to extinguish it, dealing fire damage or healing it by 2d10 plus your Wisdom modifier. You can use the reactionary part of this feature a number of times equal to your proficiency bonus, recharging after a long rest. Wow, now this is a pretty interesting feature overall. After all, not only is there no range to the reactionary component of this feature, but you only expend uses of the feature whenever you actually use the reaction, allowing you to then passively maintain a near infinite number of spectral flames that you can then make use out of over the course of a battle. Couple that with its fairly reasonable amount of healing or damage that it can provide, and this makes for a really fun and potent ability that can really allow you to change the conditions of a battle. Definitely a super fun and interesting feature for you to get, and one that you'll probably be glad that you have for later on. Finally, at 14th level, you get Blazing Revival, which allows you to reduce your Wildfire Spirit's hit points to 0 whenever you've had your hit points reduced to 0 while within 120 feet of your Wildfire Spirit once per long rest. Once you do this, you then regain half of your total hit points. Wow, talk about emergency healing! Now, I know this is just another death insurance feature, but the fact that this gives you back half your hit points shouldn't be understated, as that's a really significant amount for you to receive for such a crucial moment, possibly allowing you to then have the chance to properly stabilize yourself while in the midst of battle. That's it, is this really all that great for a capstone feature for this particular subclass? Honestly, probably not, but it's a pretty far cry from a lot of the more useless ones traditionally seen by spellcasters. So yeah, a pretty nice feature overall. Alright, that does it for all the subclass features. Now onto just a few of my own personal recommendations concerning it. This should go without saying, but the vast majority of the subclass's features revolve around the use of your Wildfire Spirit. So if you don't plan on making regular use out of it, then you might as well just play as another Druid subclass. That said, just remember that it does cost you uses of your Wild Shape feature in order for you to summon forth your Wildfire Spirit. So if you're planning on making good use of both of these features, then just make sure that you keep yourself properly rested, as the last place you really want to find yourself is in the middle of a battle without any of your Wild Shape charges. Finally, let's talk about spells. Now, out of all the spells made available to you, I would just highly recommend taking Elemental Bane, as not only does this spell enhance all the potencies of your fire-based spells, but it also enhances your Wildfire Spirit's ranged attack, and any damage that you deal with your Cauterizing Flames, allowing you to take full advantage of all of these abilities while also ignoring all of those pesky fire resistances. That said, though Elemental Bane does synergize with your Enhanced Bond feature, just keep in mind that that'll only apply to one damage roll made with it. So, yeah. In the case of any of your longer lasting concentration spells, Enhanced Bond isn't actually going to do a whole lot for you. However, for the spells that actually do work well with it, I would recommend taking Produce Flame, Firestorm, and Healing Word, as all of these spells could benefit greatly from that extra 1d8's worth of damage or healing. Well, okay, maybe with the exception of Firestorm, but hey, it still works well with it. And that's it. If you liked the video, then be sure to subscribe and let me know what you think down in the comments below. And if you'd like to have the chance to play D&D with me, then feel free to join my Discord server, and consider supporting me over on Patreon. Thank you all so much for watching. I'll see all of you in the next video.